What's up? Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard to Trading Live with Bubba. And hey, markets are they're down a little bit after being much higher earlier this morning. They have now turned negative. S&P on its lows, Russell on its lows. Gold is making a little bit of a charge back, but it's down $30. You can see. Hold on, let me share with you. You can see that it was down over $40, making a little bit of a rally. We might even get a trade here in gold. I just saw a headline pass, another tragedy. Synagogue attack killed two dead, two terrorists. This country lost their mind. In the meantime, government shutdown. This is not the effect of a government shutdown. This is the effect of just some profit taking, some selling. Right now, we don't have anything to do, but we might get a trade here in gold. Yeah, let's see what it looks like. Might look to here. Our open trades are okay. We're in pretty good shape, so that's okay. And well, I think it's not quick enough. I think we're going to wait for a minute and see if it continues to charge. I think that makes more sense. Right now, again, you can see pretty much flatlining, pretty much across the board. So there's really not a lot of speed or action to the market. So I think we'll sit here and be a little bit patient and wait for it. But we will watch. I think that certainly a sell-off here is not a surprise. I think that you would expect, again, it's not negative. It's not that we're going down. It's that you would expect to see some profit taking show up at some point. This is a quieter day than normal because it is Yom Kippur. So there's a lot of participants not involved here. So this is somewhat of a holiday, even though it's not an official holiday for the markets. So we'll watch. But again, there is not, one of the things we are lacking is there's not a lot of volume regardless. So it makes it much more challenging to trade. And let's just see. We're headed lower on our lows in the Dow and in the S&P, and getting close to our lows in the NASDAQ, and getting close to our lows in the Russell. So this looks like we're going to see some reasonable selling, but the VIX is not exploding, and we're not going straight down. So one of the things you want to remember is that without the speed in the market now, the VIX is holding, which is something that you would expect. The markets are historically overbought. That doesn't mean they can't get more overbought, okay? But from history tells us, if you go back to the 90s, if you go back to 87, actually it's 87, 2001, and 2008, okay? And again, that doesn't mean that we're going down yet, okay? It just means that there's a lot of signs, a lot of warning out there as we watch these markets. And, you know, you just can't keep going up when people's debt continues to grow. So we missed a little bit of a potential sale in this gold. But again, I'm not in a hurry to rush into anything here. I think this market is very challenging because of the lack of speed, the lack of activity in it. But we will look at the other things we look at while we're waiting. And I can see on another screen if there's something we need to rush to and look at. But as we look, Apple, okay, Apple is nothing, which it was nothing the other day. Amazon, once again, we did sell some put spreads here. It is holding up very well, so there's no problem there. There's no new trade to put on. Coin, probably want to look at selling some call spreads here. Let's take a look. Hold on. I'll check it out and see if I'm willing to put this trade on. And these now will be for October the 10th. Okay, October the 10th is what we'll be looking at now. No longer are we going to do. Now, you could do the 3rd, but I would think you'd be probably better off now waiting for the 10th. So let's see, the 350, 750, 360 for $1.15. Yeah, I can make that trade. I'm going to go ahead and put that on coin. Just put it down so we remember to discuss, because I have obviously multiple positions on. Crowd, nothing to do. Ether, We did this. Look at how nicely that worked out. Nothing to do now. Meta we did the other day. We're on under a little water here. We have a chance for it to come back, though. I'm not going to add to a losing position right now. You know, there are times I will be willing to add, but this is not one of those times. There's not enough business for me to want to add to this market right now. So I will continue to look. INOQ. This is one from last week. We didn't do anything. There's nothing to do now. Let's just go back and see if there's anything worth looking at. Again, you need an extension. Okay, you need something like this. Okay, this was a sale in crude. That was a legitimate sale here. Okay. Other than that, you don't really have a lot of trades to potentially make. Bitcoin's had a couple, but the lack of liquidity in Bitcoin makes it more of a challenge and less than I really want to get involved with it. So that would be something to always think about. Okay, as you're looking at these. So again, we have a slower moving action right now. What you're really looking for is a panic or a chase, one of the two. And right now you're not getting either. You're just getting steady, orderly selling right now, which could turn around and become flash buying. Okay, this has been the overall pattern we've been watching. Let's go back and check out if there's anything else going on here. IWM, nope, nothing. MP, nothing. Microsoft, nothing. We did have a sale the other day in Microsoft, though. MSTR, getting close. Certainly, if it was popped through a little bit higher, I'd look to be selling call spreads there. NNE, nothing. Nugget. Again, I didn't make this. I said you could make it if you wanted. I said I got beat up on it twice in a row. I put it on the sidelines for now. But obviously getting clobbered today pretty good. Again, remember, we're going to sell call spreads at overbought conditions. We're going to sell put spreads at oversold conditions. NVIDIA, we have on from the other day, a little bit against us right now. We'll see what happens the rest of the day. We have it till tomorrow. You could add to it if you chose. I don't ever recommend adding in to losers. Okay. In these conditions, there are times when I believe it is the right trade and the correct move to add to a loser, but this is not the market for it. Okay, there's not enough movement in this market to do that, so we don't. Palantir, close, but nothing. QBTS, nothing. The Qs, close. Again, you could do things here. This is where you now have to decide how aggressive you want to be and what your risk tolerance is. Okay. I might take some of these trades, but I don't necessarily put them out because I understand the drawdowns. I understand when I'm wrong. I understand the losses. Okay. But not everybody gets that, and it makes it hard. So I'm much more conservative when I'm trading with you because, again, there's things that, that I understand. I've done this for 47 years. SMCI is certainly one to look at. Let's take a peek at that. SMCI. We're getting a little rally in the NASDAQ. Let's see if we're getting any kind of trade out of it. There is a potential trade here in the NASDAQ. If you want to take a play at it, you can sell the NASDAQ here with a stop at 2064. Excuse me, 25064. My apologies, 25064. If you feel like it, again, I'm not over the top on these trades just because, again, we have so little action that I'm not looking to get you in trouble. The S&P would be similar, and that would also be a potential sale with a stop at 67.58. $67.58. Okay. And let's go back and see. If you took the NASDAQ, you should have one off already. Okay. And again, if you didn't take it, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. If you took the S&P, you should have one off already. And then your stop would go to break even. You look for the runner. Okay, that's what we're playing for. If we can get a runner, we take off a little bit of profit right away, and then if we can get a runner, then we play it obviously for the big hit. Okay, and of course probably get another chance to sell in these markets again. Let me just look at SMCI while I'm watching this at the same time. Let's see here. For next week. $53.54 for 40 cents. I could live with that. Okay. And okay, so we had two little winners and two little winning trades. And so we want to get involved again. Kind of hard to decipher here at the moment of what you may or may not want to get involved in. It's very slow, so it's hard to get overly excited about these. Let's go back to our bigger board. The SPY is certainly one you can look at. That one you can sell for today if you want. I don't know if I do it now. You've already missed quite a bit, but again, it's one you may want to watch for later. One of the beautiful things about the zero DTEs is that we don't have the overnight to worry about. Okay. The biggest risk in options, obviously, is what can happen when the markets are closed or overnight. So certainly I don't ever mind selling the SPY. In fact, I did sell myself earlier today. I sold the SPY 670, 671. I sold it for 40 cents this morning. Okay, when the markets first opened. Okay, and that's being prepared on a market that was overbought anyways. And it was overbought not only on a daily, but it was overbought obviously on a short term. So again, it's something to look at. These are things you can be working on your own when you know a market, and you can use the Bollinger Bands. Okay, when the market is dramatically overbought or dramatically oversold, we're agnostic to which way we want to trade. Okay, we don't have an opinion. Okay, your net opinion should be for the long haul is always long. Okay, because the markets go up 8.5% year over year, but in the short term, you should be agnostic and trade what the charts are telling you, trade what the tape is telling you. That is something that we have to always be aware of and ready for. Okay. So again, it's something to reach out to watch for. Let's just go back here and see. Okay, so again, we're getting a little bit of a whip, but not very much action, so it isn't very exciting. Let's go back and finish off our list anyways while we're waiting. XYZ we did the other day, nice little winner. Tesla, no trade yet. Win, no trade yet. And Zoom, potential sell some put spreads here if you want. That would be so. We put a couple trades on today. But again, I'm not trying to get overly excited or overly involved here. I think that it's better to be careful and better to sit it out while you're waiting. I think that that's one thing you want to remember is it's easier when you get more action and more business, you're better off than trying to fight into, especially if you're not experienced. Okay. Certainly the euro currency is a potential look right now. As it's on its lows, getting some pretty heavy selling into it. So that's one we could potentially look at. Okay. So we're getting a little bit more action than we've had recently. So the euro currency is definitely a look at. So now we're waiting for a green bar. Yeah, and it's still spiking down, which is great because we're going to be a buyer. So we love it that it keeps spiking down. Okay, because we're buying it. So we might as well buy it cheaper. But we'll have to see when it comes in. And obviously, we won't be buying it on this bar. So maybe on the next bar. Dow's on its lows, S&P's on its lows, Russell's on its lows. Okay. On the euro currency, should we get a trade? The stop would be at 117.24, but we do not have a trade yet. But 117.24 would be the stop. But still waiting. Not a clear signal to buy it yet. But there is the volume bar you're looking for. There you can see that pretty obvious, right? All right, so let's go back here and see if we can get a trigger to get it. Okay, so again, we're just obviously just waiting. It's the patience of a trader. You got to sit back and wait for the opportunities when they arise. And we don't have it. We have no trigger to buy it yet, so we're not going to step in. And if you guys have any questions, you can always ask them. I'll answer anything, even about the football game tonight. So no trade yet. We need a green bar to go ahead and step in. Until then, we're not getting involved. Okay. No, we sit, we wait, and watch the markets go lower, but not with any speed or no speed, no drama. So it is our job to sit back and be patient, wait for it. Sometimes the best trade is no trade. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to get a trade because it's not cooperative. Well, maybe now, but of course, now you're going to probably have to manage it yourself. So that'll be up to you if you want to take it or not. I understand if you don't, but it looks like it's going to trigger here. Well, maybe we'll see. Hasn't done anything yet. Okay, you can buy the euro currency if you want. Okay. We'll see what happens here. But again, you got targets to get out, 10 ticks, and obviously your stop is at 24. So we'll see what happens here. It's working in our favor right now, but not enough to get anything off yet. Okay. All right. Well, not much going on. Just be careful. No jobs tomorrow because no government open. So don't be counting on the jobs number. Your euro currency is profitable as we leave. And we put a couple of trades on. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you back here on Tuesday. And remember, I do a Market 120 every morning for a little update before we open. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you later.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.